nostalgic.
Hello and welcome to Wax Nostalgic. Wax Nostalgic is a show that looks back on the good old days. Laugh with us as we reminisce about past experiences and memories from our younger lives. I'm your co-host, Graham Johnstone.
I'm Ryan, all for pun and pun for all, Kerwin.
And I'm Sam Fauntleroy Bagnall. And this is Wax Nostalgic.
Sweet. I just learned from Sam here that Donald Duck has a middle name.
Donald Duck's middle name is Fauntleroy.
I thought you were full of shit, and then you looked it up.
Yeah, but
You're right.
he could have put that on the internet. The internet is not an authoritative source on everything.
That's
I edited
true.
the wiki page.
That's
the
right.
wiki
You just
article.
edited it real quick before
Just
you...
quickly.
Yeah.
Let me look it up for you real quick.
I gotta be right.
Right. How do you spell Fauntleroy?
That's right. Not like that, no.
Welcome back to Wax Nostalgic. Today is going to be the third episode that we are recording, and we're excited to jump right into it. As per usual, we're going to divide it into a item of sorts and then an experience.
Yeah.
Today's first topic is going to be destructive toys. So
Nice.
who wants to start us off? Graham?
Sure, I can go.
Who, Graham? Who?
Who? It's not an owl. The destructive toy is... So I don't know if you guys remember Crash Dummies.
Yes.
Like
Vaguely,
Crash
yeah.
Test Dummies or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And like, I think it was like... Well, I think at first it's... I don't remember how it all kind of like came about, but it was like definitely a government like thing. Like they use
Yes.
them to test like crash
For safety
yeah,
regulations
safety
for cars and
cars.
things.
Yeah.
And somehow, I don't know exactly how this happened, but somehow they ended up making like products.
Yeah.
And like they had a cartoon. I remember the cartoon, the
Yes.
Crash Test
I
Dummies.
remember that too.
Yeah, it was like very early 3D animation.
Yeah, wow, that is a weird memory unlocked.
Dude, I bet you like put that one way back in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they had the cartoon, and then they started making like action figures, and so like they had the Crash Test Dummy characters, and like they had a button. He had like I had this guy, and he had a button, and you push a button, and all of his appendages fly off.
Yes.
Did the Crash Test Dummy guy have a name? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
They did have names, but
yeah.
it's long enough ago. Like, yeah, it's same for me as it was with you. Like, I very distinctly, remember like watching these videos. There was like the bad guy who lives in the like garbage. What do you call it? Garbage dump, that kind of thing, and they have to get there and save their car. I don't remember that kind of stuff. But I think one of them was named Spin.
Yeah,
But then
that
other
does
than
sound
that-
right. Spin.
Probably Crash.
There's probably a Crash.
Yeah.
I think there was a dog.
Yes,
There's a
there was.
dog.
Yes,
Crash
There was
Test
a dog.
Dummy?
The
Yeah,
Crash Test
and he had
Dummy.
like the same like registration mark stickers on him.
Dude, yeah. And I think there was a woman. I think it was
Yes.
I think it was like a family thing or something, right? There was like the
well,
woman and the kid.
It was like a
and-
whole, a whole,
Yeah.
community. I remember, I remember in the cartoon they would just like always crash their vehicles. Like I remember they were flying a plane at one point, and it's just like they crashed the plane, and all their arms go everywhere. And it's like, we needed to get somewhere. You shouldn't have crashed the plane right now. They just love crashing and losing
course.
limbs. Yeah.
So yeah,
The Incredible
Oh, yeah, here we
Crash
go.
Test Dummies is a 1993 animated television special.
Heck yeah.
I wanted to see their names.
I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
I think Spin,
Ted?
Crash. Oh, Ted. Yeah, was he the fat one?
It says purple and gold repainted Junkman.
Junkman was the bad guy, I think, right?
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Well, I don't want to take too long, but
Yeah. But no, I remember, I think we had some of those toys as well. And you
Yeah.
get them where, like, you actually get the car as well. And then
Yeah.
you, like, crash it into a
Yep.
wall. And, like, the car itself and
car,
all
everything,
their limbs. Yeah.
And I remember like trying to like if you. I remember as a kid, I was like, I want to crash this thing and make it explode by crashing it.
Right.
So you tried to do the most destructive things to like push to get the button to push.
Yeah.
Because you could push it and it's like, well, whatever.
Yeah,
but like if you could set up a scenario where you're like throwing it off of like a building or
that's
something.
kind of fun.
Yeah. It taps into something primal.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Slick
Yeah.
was a character. Spin was in fact a character.
Spin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ted was a character. Spare tire.
Oh yeah. He might have been the fat one. That would make sense.
And then Bull.
That might have been the dog. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh no, he might be there was a big strong one too.
There was a big strong one.
Yeah.
I just now remember that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
Isn't this exciting for everyone who's paying attention? Like as we unlock these memories one by one.
Also, dude, there was video games. I remember.
I remember video games as well.
I think because I had a Game Gear like we talked about. I'm pretty sure they had a Game Gear version, and then I know they had like a Genesis. They probably had like a Super Nintendo. I think it was like on all the systems, but like I don't remember what happened in those video games per se, but it was probably more crashing.
Right, I was gonna. There's a pretty safe guess about what happens in the games.
Precursor to the Burnout games. Do you remember the Burnout games? Or you just the whole goal was just to crash cars? They're so fun.
Burnout 3 Takedown was my jam.
When I got my Switch, I downloaded it again.
Dude, I need to do that.
Nice. Which one was it? Like the Paradise City one or
Paradise City?
Nice. That's a good one.
I think I liked. There was one on PS2 or 3 that I liked.
Okay, that might have been Burnout 2 or 3. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
anyway, they're fun because again, it's just all about trying to like be as destructive as possible.
Right.
Do you recall any specific things you did to make said dummy explode? Was there any like noteworthy experiments that you did on it to try to get it to
anything
pop?
particularly cruel, you know?
Yeah.
I cannot remember anything specific other than just try to be as destructive as possible.
You're not on trial here. You can tell us.
Yes, I do not recall.
Okay, all right.
Although we are recording this so that if you ever do serial kill in ways of like making people's limbs pop off by dropping them off of buildings, we've got some evidence.
I wonder how much the IP for that costs. We can make a real life Crash Dummies movie where they're just like being serial killed by Graham.
Oh yeah, by just a character. He can be named Graham Fauntleroy, Lord Graham Fauntleroy.
Lord Graham Fauntleroy.
That's.
If you're watching this, be surprised when it comes out and he turns out to be the killer last minute. You know,
it's a surprise.
I'll have to look into how much the rights to that would be.
Yeah.
It can't be that much, right? That's old IP.
Nobody's done anything.
Exactly.
Nobody's done anything with it in 30 years. Yeah.
Statute of limitations or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Just probably in the public domain at this point.
Just go to China and do it, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just remember, I guess I just remember because, when you're a kid, you have all these toys. I had, like, Legos, and I had, and whatever. Like, just remember, I think I had, like, a remote control car, too. And I used to, like, try to, like, launch him off of the remote control car or, run him over. I don't know. Anyway, it was very, you're right. It taps into, like, this primal, like...
Yeah.
Like urge for young boys to just be destructive.
Oh yeah.
Break stuff.
Like breaking stuff when you're a kid is like the best.
Right. Like, did you guys like just build Lego things and then just smash them?
Just to smash them.
Yeah.
Of course, for sure.
Yeah. That's
like
half the fun.
reason.
Yeah.
Half the reason you make Legos, except for then you start destroying all the parts. Like, after a while, you're like, man, why are all my Legos all dented and they don't fit together? And it's like, oh, yeah, because a year ago I was creating castles and then giving them the people's elbow, just like dropping your elbow on them. So
yeah, give the people what they want.
The one thing about Legos is they're pointy and hard, so if you do it the wrong way, you're gonna feel it.
That's true. But when you're little,
later we're gonna talk about injuries, and
that's true. That's true.
Legos.
Like my parents would always step on Lego parts, and they would be like, I'd hear like, ah, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's classic.
It keeps on giving. Yeah.
Great. Is that it for Crash Dummies for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Ryan, did you want to go next this time?
Sure. Yeah, I'm down. So we're talking about destructive toys. This one, it's more of like a found object kind of toy. It makes it sound like when I lived in the UK when I was a kid, it was like Victorian times or something like that.
Was it not?
It was like that, more than it was like that when I came to the States. There's a lot of old buildings and old folks, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why that makes it Victorian. But one of the things we do on the playground is you would play this game called Conkers.
Okay.
And what it is you find horse chestnuts. It's a particular variety of chestnuts.
Yeah, eaten by horses.
I assume so. I don't know why it's called that. Maybe it's made out of horse. I'm not sure.
Where there's giant, like a big horse chestnut.
Is this
Right.
Is this where the word horseplay came about?
I assume so, yeah.
Horse chestnut play, and they shortened it.
We'll stick with that for now.
That makes sense.
But you get a horse chestnut. They're kind of these like big, lumpy, chestnutty things, as the name implies. So you go find a tree. You find them underneath. They're inside these casings. They're kind of like green and pointy, and then they dry out, and then they're sharp and pointy. But you break them open, get out the chestnut. You poke a hole in it, and you put a string in it, and so you have a horse chestnut on the end of a string. You take it to school, and then you take turns with your friends. You have to dangle yours out in front of you, and then your friend will try and hit that with theirs.
Okay.
And the goal is to like break their chestnut and not break yours.
Gotcha. So you use the nut itself, not the spiky casing.
Right. Yeah. The casing's just kind of soft. It dries out, but it's the nut.
And how long were like the strings? Is this something that was like a couple of inches, or was it like long? Sounds kind of dangerous. Is the reason I'm asking.
Well, at least you're not using the spiky bit.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just the hard
it wasn't. It wasn't very long. Maybe like a foot, or because it was the UK, 30 centimeters.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
a third of a meter.
That's right. I don't think there was any kind of restriction on that I'm aware of. But I think if it gets too long, it's hard to like wield it accurately.
Yeah, makes sense.
But you want it long enough that you can like hold it and have your knuckles out of harm's way.
Was there instances that you experienced of getting whacked with them?
I'm pretty sure, like, no specific ones where it's like, this is burned into my memory forever, but I do have a, distinct muscle memory of like, you want to stand far enough back that, like your eyes are not nearby, your hand is not in the way, that kind of thing. Because sometimes when they like break, they like smash, like they explode, like a crash dummy,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of the most fun parts about this was, this was back in, let's say, 98 or something like that. And so the internet, I think, kind of existed at that point, not in my world. But, so like...
Victorian England.
Right, exactly, yeah. They called it ye old interwebs or something.
Yeah.
The rumors would go around the playground about the best ways to, like, kind of... not cheat necessarily, because there wasn't, like a board of people enforcing any kind of rules.
Sure.
But ways of hardening your chestnut before you enter it in the competition. And the two that stick out in my memory, one is you soak it in vinegar, which was supposed to make it harder. I don't know if it did.
Really?
Okay.
I definitely tried
Is
it.
that scientifically
sounds
backed?
like it would. It sounds like to me,
Researched?
it feels like it would like almost make it more brittle, but
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe what it does.
It might make it more delicious.
That's probably true. You're not supposed to eat these,
It's
I
like
don't think.
oh, really? Okay.
they're for horses only.
horses.
Yeah,
Horses
yeah.
only.
Yes.
Delicious to horses, perhaps. Yeah. I mean, my feeling, again, based on these old memories, is once you soaked it, overnight and took it out, it did seem like it maybe like kind of shrunk a little bit and maybe like a little more compact,
Oh.
But again, it could just be like totally fake, fake news. And
fake news.
Yeah. We hadn't invented that at that point, but it was around, But the other one was, you bake it for a while, which, again, I could see that also making it weaker rather than stronger. But the word on the street was, putting it in the oven for an hour at whatever temperature, it ends up getting baked and harder. And
Was there like ever anybody that you knew that just like dunked it in epoxy or something? Just like dip it in some hardening glue so that you can just whack it. It's like, no, it's never gonna break.
I don't think so.
Because it's a rock painted like a horse chestnut.
That would have been, I think at the time if that had happened, I would have been pretty bitter about it. But like in hindsight, I would respect that kind of hustle.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, I don't recall seeing that.
Respect the hustle.
Yeah, exactly. Any questions about Conkers?
Is the horse chestnut specifically a UK plant? Is that something that you've seen in the US? Do you know? You might not know, but
I think so. My guess is it is probably not specific there. I think like maybe they'd have them in New England or if anywhere in the U.S. Just because I think like a lot of trees over there are kind of similar. You know, like I think they brought
Similar,
some trees over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might have seen them. I was in Turkey like 2 years ago with my mom, and I think I saw some trees there. So
Okay.
that's not answering your question specifically, but
It's a good enough answer. I was just curious because that, like, as somebody who was born and raised in Colorado,
oh yeah,
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've never seen that. That game
Never
is a
heard of it.
mystery until
Is
just now.
Is
Yeah.
this like is this game related to Conkers Bad Fur Day?
yes. It's my belief that
okay.
at least his name comes from that. I guess I haven't confirmed that, but you know, he's a little squirrel. I'm pretty sure he's got a British accent, if my memory serves.
I think we talked about this before. I think Rare, that company is a British company or something.
It
or
has some kind of presence
affiliated
in
with
England, yeah.
the Crown.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is, you know, hi, I'm Conker, you know, like yeah.
Now I gotta go play that game.
Yeah.
That's a funny. It's like a weird esoteric thing to turn into a fairly popularized video game,
Yeah.
but that's
Well, I don't
great.
think it was like the basis of the mechanics of the video game. I think it was just a fun name for a character.
Sure.
And does he throw like horse chestnuts in the game?
I don't think I've ever played the game because when it came out, I was also like 8 or 9 years old, and that one had a little bit of adult humor in it.
It was rated M for mature.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
It was the one. I think it was like one of the. I think it was actually pretty bad. Like you know, had some pretty like raunchy like shit
pretty
in it.
nasty
Yeah,
in it.
especially for Nintendo.
Right. And I remember at that time, like, you know, I would be looking at like the magazines for like what games I should be like saving up my pocket money for and that kind of thing. And that one, you know, it was like, don't buy this if you're under this age. And I was like a good boy. So I was like, okay, I won't buy that.
Yeah, why would I even want to buy it before then?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
good.
I don't want to know these things.
I'm too good.
Yeah.
I'm just a nice little boy.
That's right. Exactly. Everyone in England is raised to be very obedient and polite.
That's what I've heard.
It's not true. But anyway, they try.
Clean.
Yeah.
Like what they bathe.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. They picked that up after the Middle Ages. Back then, you know, they thought you got sick if you bathed. But
Can't have that.
that's right. They also thought that you healed yourself by putting leeches on you. But
Bloodletting.
Didn't the barber used to do like surgery
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
yep.
Or
Yep.
I don't know.
yeah.
Somebody needed to do surgery, and Barber has the sharpest stuff in town.
Sure, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I've seen Sweeney Todd. Yeah,
Demon Barber, Fleet Street.
that's right. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's most of what I had to say about Conkers. Unless anybody has any specific questions about horse chestnut trees anymore. Do you want to know what kind of string we used?
Yeah.
How we
tell
poked the
us.
hole?
How did you poke the hole? That's actually
Twine?
a good question. Did you just like stab
so
it?
It was So I would use like my dad's screwdriver. I think you could use a drill as well, but you know I was again 7.
Not
8,
using
whatever.
power tools.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like you do, I need to be careful actually because we're getting into the specifics
They're
here.
poisonous.
No. It's if
the
you
horses.
just like poke it through, just think of like you know an entry wound and an exit wound because the chestnut has like you know kind of just like fleshy meat inside. It's like a regular chestnut, just like different shape and stuff, whatever.
So it would explode on the other side.
Well, yeah, like the outer shell would like you know kind of crack in a star form or you know like a cross formation if you're using a Phillips head, you know, and then it's very easy for that to like expand into a crack when people hit it.
Oh, dude,
So-
so you would like sabotage your chances
Right,
of success.
exactly, yeah.
So you
you
had
gotta
to
be
have
careful.
2 points of entry, never an
Yeah,
exit.
yeah.
wound,
I feel like
just 2 entry
I feel like I have
wounds.
memories of experimenting with this. Yeah, like you know, trying coming in from both sides, or like you know, letting it rip a little bit and trying to rip it like into a circle around that, so it doesn't have a crack that can you know expand. You know, that kind of stuff. I feel like a lot of that was just like wasted effort because at the end of the day, when you're hitting things hard with other things, they're going to break.
Whenever you were making these and like poking the hole, would you have like a stash of them? Because I feel like chances are, you know, let's say 15 to 30% of the time, it's just gonna break. You like go to hammer the screwdriver through, and it just breaks, and you're like, oh, time for another one.
Yeah.
Grab your next one and try that.
I think so. Yeah, this wasn't a thing that was like so constant in my life that I had like really well-defined strategies and stuff like that. It's a thing we did on and off at school. I feel like when we did play it, I would know where a tree was in my neighborhood or near the school or something like that, and probably just go and forage, you know, a few that looked promising, take them home, set them up, and then take them in, and whatever happens, happens. So,
Nice.
Horse chestnuts, gotta catch them all.
That's right, exactly. Conquer the world.
Hey, we could start a club, a league.
That's right. Only the cool kids can join who have access to horse chestnut trees.
Bad news for us Coloradans.
Well, I'm gonna grow one in my backyard. Little do you guys know.
Oh boy, in 30 years we're gonna look
having-
foolish.
30 years.
I'm gonna have mine imported.
I'll be dead by then.
I hope not.
You're not old enough for that to be old age, so I guess it's just a prediction. I don't know. Yeah, cool.
I'll just play Conkers with you from beyond the grave.
Ghost
That'd be
Town.
cool. I would.
Ghost Conkers.
I'd be pretty jazzed about that if there was just like a floating chestnut on a string.
A floating chestnut just come visit you in the middle of the night.
Just start whacking at me.
You're in the old folks' home. Hey, get out of here.
How old do you think I am? 30 years.
Yeah, he's 30 years from now. He's going to be like in the prime of his life. He's going
Right.
to be buying his first motorcycle.
I have a motorcycle.
You have a motorcycle now. Never mind.
All right, you're right. You won't be in the old folks' home.
That's right. No, I'll be out outside the
You'll be.
folks' home.
You will be. You'll probably buy an RV.
Do you own an RV too?
And then like
Well, if you count a motorcycle as a recreational vehicle, then kind of. But this is again getting into nitpicking semantics.
you're gonna buy a Mazda Miata,
Yeah,
like most middle-aged men do.
that's true.
Midlife
Yeah.
crisis.
I feel like my third life crisis was doing improv, which is how we ended up here. So
That's how we all met. I'm in a similar boat. I'm like, oh man, I need to meet people.
yeah. What is someone that everyone respects?
Definitely improv comedians are at the top of that list.
Improv.
Coolest kids in school.
Yeah.
It's the kids who did improv comedy.
Exactly. Yeah. But we're not in school anymore.
Sure, I am. I'm still in class, in improv class.
Oh, improv. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Kind of school.
I'm in the
Yeah.
school of life, guys.
Yeah, hard
Ooh.
knocks.
Oh yeah, Hard Knocks. Yeah,
Deep,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's hand it over to Sam for his destructive toy.
Cool. My destructive
Samuel.
toy today is going to be Beyblades.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Bay.
Beyblades are essentially a spinning top battle toy.
Say no more. No,
Yep,
please say
that's
more.
it. That's all. I'm done. No, so Beyblades, the concept of battle tops has been around since somewhere in the 60s. Specifically, a company in Japan was making them. I think it was Japan that was making them. But Beyblades got popularized also from Japan in 1999. And they were released as a toy, but also as a manga series. So like, anime comic story type of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting to create a comic, a manga about battling tops.
Yeah.
But soon after that, in 2002, Hasbro started to sell Beyblades internationally, and it was actually the most sought after Christmas toy in 2002.
Wow.
So it was the top rated, most popular toy for kids in that year.
The top rated top.
Top rated top, yes.
Wow.
Specifically that. But they were cool because there was a bunch of different styles. There was 4 kind of categories: an attack category, a defense category, a stamina category, and then like a balanced one that was a little bit of all of those things.
AKA boring. Yes.
Boring, yeah. The quitters version.
Yeah.
The commit.
The safe Beyblade.
Exactly,
Right,
the
right.
safe one. And they had these like plastic or sometimes metal like arenas that you would set up, and then you would pull this little rip cord and yell, "Let it rip!"
Nice.
And then they would just go and spin around in there and knock into each other until one person's got knocked out of the arena.
Can I just confirm one detail? If
Yeah.
you don't yell "Let it rip," does it not spin?
It doesn't spin. It
Okay,
doesn't. It won't
wow.
even come off.
That technology was a bit ahead of its time. I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. Voice activated AI.
Wow.
So this was something me and my brothers did a lot of. Some of my friends did, but I had a bunch. My older brother had a bunch. My little brother ended up getting like a pretty fancy one. That was one of the defense ones, but it had like metal plates on it. And so ours are all like these plastic ones. You know, you get them
So
for
his
$20.
like destroyed everybody, right?
Oh yeah. And his was like a $60 one, and ours are like $20 or whatever. And just without fail,
to
you would
play,
go
yeah.
in, and it would just
Pay
like
to win.
Yeah, exactly.
like kerplunk, just knock it straight out. It was
Wow.
like so
Could
far
you modify
disadvantaged.
it? Could you add like metal to yours or something?
Like razor blades,
could,
yeah,
perhaps.
razor blades
Yeah.
or something.
There you go.
Light it on
Little
fire.
nunchucks. Yeah, they're
Poison.
so Oh shit! Oh, that's a deep cut. There were, especially in later generations of them. So there's been 4 total generations of them so far. They're still making them and releasing them now. But they originally were, I think, a little bit more basic. But as they got more advanced, they were coming out with some of these fancier ones with metal stuff, or ones that you could build kind of like a Legos and put different pieces on,
modular, essentially.
Customize it.
Yeah, they would come with like 4 different weight rings and like 4 different things. And build them up.
Do you guys remember that game Crossfire?
No.
Remember the Crossfire? Crossfire.
Okay, it sounds like a little familiar, but
robots in crossfire, robots in disguise.
Just keep going a little bit longer.
Crossfire, you can count them in me. Crossfire.
I don't remember that game.
I think if you do it for a couple of minutes, I'll remember.
Yeah.
Crossfire. No, I'll find the. I just remember the commercial. I don't ever think I ever played the game, but it's like you load up these things and then you shoot them. It's like a board game thing, and I think there's 4 things, and then you shoot the. You like it's like has a little pistol thing that's like mounted on a swivel,
That
and then
does
you try
sound
to shoot
vaguely familiar.
the other opponent's.
I don't know why I didn't figure that out
Thing?
from you singing the theme song.
Crossfire.
Robots in disguise. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It totally sounds like that. Yeah, but Beyblades, they ended up making a TV show that came out pretty soon after they were released by Hasbro in the US and UK and all of that. There was a whole TV show that had similar to like Pokemon, Digimon, stuff like that, where it was like it followed a main character who was battling his way through.
So like, was it just a cartoon of people playing the game?
Kind of. It was like a grander scale. So they had these like creatures / like gods or something that were associated with the tops, and so they would battle, but they had like an element of sentience to them.
Right. I didn't watch either of these shows much, but it kind of makes me think of like Yu-Gi-Oh sort of thing. Did you ever see that?
Yes, that's how I don't know. I'm associating it in my mind.
Well, I guess
I do not recall.
To explain the connection in my head, like Yu-Gi-Oh, it was about these cards. It's like a trading card game and stuff like that, and you have these creatures that you summon by playing your cards. And in the TV show, they're like playing in this big arena, and when you like play the card, it actually summons the creature and that kind of thing.
Oh.
And so with the Beyblade, I did see 1 or 2 episodes of that back in the day. They have like these little spirit monster things that live inside the tops, and as you spin them and get better and whatever, they can like unleash these attacks where like the thing like the big fire snake actually comes out of the top and like blows fire at the other guy's top or whatever,
yeah, something like that. Again, kind of an interesting thing to create like a whole like anime show about is like spinning tops, but they made it work. It was a pretty popular show amongst kids for a long time. I watched it a little bit, not a lot.
It's funny that you mentioned. I didn't think of this before, but there's some like traditional Japanese toys that are still kind of popular, if only as like look at how fun this little traditional toy is. And one of those things is like the ball in the cup where you like throw the ball, catch it in the cup. Another one is
that a
tops.
Japanese toy?
I think they've probably had them in different cultures, but that's one that's like very popular.
I don't know if that was
ball in the cup. Yeah, swing the ball, catch it in the cup, kids.
I think it's called kendama in Japanese or something like that. In case you want to look it up. But then spinning tops, and I think they have these ones where it's got like a string that wraps all around it, and then you pull it, and it's just like a wooden like lathed top, and they're usually like painted with stripes and things, and so I wonder if that was kind of the step one along the way to.
Yeah, but I think Beyblades. They have that in Jewish culture too. It's called the dreidel.
Well, those ones they're more like square with the symbols on the side, right?
Dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay.
Robots in disguise,
Robots.
Yeah, that does sound kind of like Transformers, huh? Weird.
So that was pretty fun. I tried to look up earlier how many different tops there are.
Yeah.
And it was pretty vague because there are so many variations with a lot of them that you can customize.
Yeah.
But it was saying something like 15,000 variations were possible.
Wow.
With all the different customizations that you can do and all of that, which is wild. Of course.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, I was hoping for them to be like, there is 700 in production or something like that.
Do you guys think there's a like collector out, like
Oh,
a rabid,
100%.
somebody who has like
For
a
sure.
whole room full of like everything.
Yes.
I
yes.
guarantee it for
We
sure.
gotta find that guy.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there definitely is, and like I'm sure there are some in America too. But like that is something that's also popular in Japanese culture is like people who just go like really deep into one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like their whole identity.
Yeah.
We can cut this portion out or not, but I was thinking a good topic for us to talk about would be like things we collected, like toys
Oh,
we
yeah.
collected.
Oh yeah.
Or toys or
Yeah.
stamps or coins or whatever. That would be a fun topic
I
to talk
collected
about.
chips
'cause-
on my shoulder. Yeah,
Look at you now.
yeah.
I just collected theme songs from popular kids' toys. Crossfire! Yeah, so that's basically it. It was something that I played a lot. I would honestly love to try to find some, maybe of my old ones, or just go out and buy 3 or 4.
You can probably
of
find them on
and just-
eBay, right?
Yeah, they still sell them. I could probably go to Target and buy them.
eBay blades.
Yeah, eBay blades.
eBay.
Yeah,
You play Beyblades with your bay?
down by the bay.
Blades.
Yeah,
Hey, baby, wanna play some Beyblades? Bay?
Beyblades, babe.
if you don't have a go-to pickup line, you do now.
Hey, baby, wanna play some Beyblades?
I'm loving this so far.
Yeah, I
But
like this. I like where this is going.
I would like to do a like at some point, like maybe a little video,
Yeah.
special content video of us playing some of the games that we've talked about.
That'd be fun.
It would be fun to play Crossfire. It would be fun to bring like a little Beyblade stadium and
Wow,
do
dude.
some Beyblades
A horse
attacks.
chestnut tree, perhaps.
Yeah, we'll ship them in from the UK.
Can you just import one of those for us?
Yeah.
Talk to your contacts.
I wonder if they I wonder if they evolved Conkers into like a game where they made like little plastic ones that
Oh, yeah.
broke apart.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, don't have a horse chestnut tree? No worries. We have horse chestnut mimicking plastic.
That's right. Or you could make them out of metal, and then you don't need to keep replacing them. You just never win or lose.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
plastic ones, I'm feeling like they're like Easter eggs, you know, where
yeah.
they like
you can snap it back
pop
together.
apart, and so you would just
it's,
do that.
It's kind of like the crash test dummy where it has like a button or
Right,
something.
right,
yeah, it has
Ooh.
something that makes it explode. And
I
then
like
you,
this. I like this. Actually, now that you mentioned this, I wasn't going to encroach on your topic too much, but my roommate when I was out of college, he had been into Beyblades when he was in like middle school, whatever, and then he saw them at Target when they were re-released some number of years ago, and the ones that they released at that point. They would I think they had like springs built in, so like when
Yeah.
they hit each other, they like actually do burst
they
apart.
actually pop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it's kind of tying this all together. I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Boom.
Yeah.
Not tied. Yeah, but I do think a lot of them, especially after like the original generation,
Yeah.
were kind of built to break apart and have
Yeah.
parts come off.
Are we
so
talking,
that-
wait, what are we talking about? Beyblades?
Beyblades,
Beyblades,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I feel like all of our timelines are intersecting.
No
now.
worries. Yeah, we started talking briefly
Right.
about
now Thanos is
Conkers
going
and
to snap and
yeah, talking about Crossfire a whole lot.
We did spend several hours talking about Crossfire. Yeah, we're probably gonna cut it in the edit. So,
Yeah.
Robots in disguise.
Cool. I think that's it for me for my destructive toy. So, without further ado, I'd like to send us into our break and talk about some of our not sponsors.
Yeah.
Sweet. See you guys in a minute.
Oh gosh. Oh, how are your hips these days?
Sonny, my hips just don't hop like they used to.
Oh, you're telling me my hip hasn't hopped in weeks.
I wish I had some way to pop my hips and hop my hops. Hippity hoppity. Who?
Hello,
Hello.
I'm Sam, and I am in a music group called Histrionics. I think I can help with your hip-hop problem. We create music that bops along, is fun to listen to, has nice melodies, and at the end of the day, leaves you smiling. Check us out anywhere you would check out music. Histrionics.
Wow, my hip is hopping.
It's already happened. I can feel it.
I froze up. I was like, where do you find music?
All right, everybody, welcome back.
Hello.
For part 2 of this episode. Right now, we're going to talk about an experience. We've decided on some memorable injuries that
Yeah.
we've had.
Keeping it light.
Keeping it nice and light. On our break, we just talked about some other people's injuries and got some cringy laughs. And I think Graham shed a little tear. No, but I'll go ahead and start. So today, I will say that I'm at 31 years old. I have lived a fairly quote dangerous life, just the hobbies and things I did when I was younger. I was a goalkeeper in soccer. I was really into BMX and dirt jumping for most of my young life, and so I was at risk of a lot of injuries a lot of times, but I never really got anything super serious. So today I'm going to talk about kind of a little off branch of this, specifically 2 different things with a third little bonus thing. The first 2 times I ever got stitches, only 2 times I ever got stitches, and conveniently both of them were caused by my older brother. Shout out, Carl. So the first one, I have a scar on my forehead. When we were younger, I was probably 4 or 5 maybe. He's 2 years older than me, and we were just like play wrestling, kind of play boxing in his room, and he decided to take the play away and pushed me into his dresser in his room, a dresser that my family still has. It's a cool like old dresser, but it has these like round kind of sharp metal knobs on it, handles on it, and my face hit it and just like gashed my head open on it pretty good. Oof. So I had to get stitches there.
How many stitches?
Not very many.
Yeah.
It wasn't very many. Neither of these were very many, but it was the only stitches I've ever gotten.
Yeah,
so.
sure. I mean, and as a kid, you're like traumatized.
Yeah, it was pretty spooky.
Traumatic,
but the second one was quite a bit worse, and I'll talk about this one a little bit longer. But that was the first one. So the second one, in my old house, my childhood home, my backyard, the exit to my backyard, the screen door, the sliding door, had a latch at the top of it. So it's like standard door height, 7 feet tall or however tall like a regular door is, I guess.
Something like that.
And there's a latch at the top of it. And so we were pretty young. My parents would lock it so we wouldn't just go cruising around outside doing our own thing. And we wanted to go outside and play. So my brother had this clever idea to stack up a bunch of toy boxes. So we had these like maybe 2 foot and a half long by like 8-inch deep little toy boxes, clear with like these green lids on them.
Yeah.
And he decided to stack them all up to get it high enough to where one of us could go up and unlatch the lock. Of course, being the younger brother, he volunteered me to do that. Voluntold me to do that. So I'm climbing up this like stack of precariously stacked boxes, and I get close to the top, and he thinks it's a really funny idea to knock the pile over. Oh. And so he pushes the box out or pulls one of the boxes out, and the whole tower comes toppling down. And so I fell from, 6 feet high, and I fell and landed face first on, do you remember those like Fisher-Price castle toys? There was like a pirate ship and a castle.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I do, I think.
Kind of like plastic.
Did they have like these action figure type things that were round and like a peg kind of?
Yeah, quite a bit like that. Yeah, they were kind of like these like medium soft plastic like little things. And so the castle had knights, and then the pirate ship had pirates, and I had both of those toys. I love both of those toys. Something I could talk about later, but now I don't need to. But so I had one of those, and it was in the room, and I fell face first and just like smacked my face on this. To this day, my mom still swears that it was the dining room table that I hit my face on, but I am like 100%. I'm 98% positive that it was this castle toy. Oh. I so vividly remember it. And I was pretty young. I don't remember a lot of things, but I remember like careening towards this little castle.
So is she saying that you did this inside the house? Because it sounds like...
It was inside.
Oh, it was inside.
It was inside. We were inside trying to go outside.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm at the top.
In my head, this latch was like on an outdoor gate or something like that.
It was, it was on the inside like sliding glass door.
Gotcha, okay.
To make it so the kids couldn't go outside
Yeah, and was the dining table near that sliding door?
Very close to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find like the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
Was the table on the grassy knoll?
Yeah, exactly. It was. Yeah.
Okay.
So the table was close. It could have been the table, but I so vividly remember it being this castle toy.
Yeah.
That I'm like sure of it. And she wasn't in the room at the time. But if there was blood on the table, then I guess. But so it's like right next to my left eye. You could probably see the scar if I show you. It's right there.
Yeah, I can see a weird.
Could have lost an eye.
Could have lost an eye.
Or whatever, you know?
Definitely could have.
Had some eye problems.
That's right.
So I had to get stitches there, and I still have a scar, and I think it kind of makes me look badass, just like a little eye scar.
Yeah. Chicks dig scars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is this your real pickup line? You want to know how I got these scars?
Want to know how I got these scars?
You
Guess
should see
what?
the
I
other
was
guy.
7 years old, and my brother knocked me off of a pile of boxes.
That's right. You know those Fisher Price castles? Yep.
I had one of those. Guess what? Check me out. I was one of those
You're
kids.
a badass.
Yeah, thanks. I don't like to brag or anything, but
You're a bad. You're so dreamy.
yeah, this is definitely not me talking smack about my brother, because he's basically my best friend to this day. But we had a little bit of a, that older brother, younger brother, rivalry when we were like little kids.
Oh yeah, Graham would never understand that. But I had an older
you
brother,
being
too.
an only
Yeah.
child, you don't get it. But there was one other little thing where him and his best friend decided it would be fun to heat up this penny. It was just like a little penny, and it was till it was glowing red hot, and then they were like, Sam, come over here and grab this. We have some money for you. And I was like, I was probably 4 or 5 at the time, and they like handed it over to me, and it was this glowing red hot penny, and it literally burned into my hand. I had a scar. It's gone 'cause hands, scars go away on pretty fast. But for like several years, I had like a circle scar on my hand with like a little Abraham Lincoln imprint on it.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, it was kind of cool. Yeah, like I wish I still had it, but it's totally gone. There's like maybe a remnant
if only there was another way to recreate that.
Yeah.
We can do something for you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll do a little experiment, a little live
do that for you.
showcase.
Yeah,
And
what's your favorite coin? We could do like a silver dollar.
Oh wow, yeah, I'll get really into it.
Yeah.
No, it's AA chip. Anyway, so that was just like another little fun. No stitches or anything required, but I did get another scar from him and his friend heating up a penny and melting it into my hand.
Yeah.
So
That's insane.
yeah, no major
Insane,
injuries,
bro.
no kneecaps ripped off of my body or anything like that. But
Yeah, that's a reference to what he was telling us before this, and I did not like the
I
kneecap
told
story.
told a fun story about my brother getting injured of him ripping his kneecap off. But we'll talk about that at a different time.
Or we won't ever talk about it.
Or we can never talk about it. That's fine too.
Yeah, that one was a little.
I'm gonna insert right here. My mother was a nurse for most of her career. My dad was like afraid of blood, and I'm like right in the middle. Where like I can look at it, and it like wigs me out.
But you don't love it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my story. Did you guys have any questions or anything about about these scars?
No questions.
Cool.
What year was the penny?
I don't recall, but I'm gonna say it was 1993 because that was a good year. It's a
good year.
Nice.
Some of our best podcasters in this room were born that year. So
I thought it was just you, but
Some of one of
one of the most
one of the
influential
best
podcasters in this group.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you, and it's a backdoor for me to slip in my little piece about stitches, so I don't have to waste my whole story on stitches as well.
Yeah,
Do you ever like you said you think that your scars are a little bit cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever wish that you didn't have those scars, or that?
No, they've been part of me for a long enough time to where it's not something that I like notice.
Okay.
I mean, I have bigger scars like on my knees and my elbows from riding bikes and stuff that I never had stitches from, but they were just larger surface area.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But I don't know. I'm not really that type of thing. Like if I had like a giant burn on my face or something, it might be different. But
Sure.
You need is one of those like badass.
Oh,
like,
just right across my eye.
Yeah, like right across your eye.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Then I can look
my
like-
backdoor story is the one time I got stitches, it was my own fault. I was standing on a chair pretending to be Batman, and I jumped off, tripped over the armrest, landed on my face,
jeez.
and I kind of split my lip a little bit.
Oh no.
It was probably just like 2 or 3 stitches, not that many. But I was maybe 4 years old, and my dad was hardline. He's ruined his face. He's going to have a scar. We need to get rid of this. And I didn't know this was an option, but somehow he was able to get me to have laser surgery to remove this scar on my lip.
What?
What?
I had no idea that was even
Whoa.
a thing.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah. It must have been in Australia. I know
Crazy,
Australia
man.
is like a little ahead of the curve, at least they used to be in terms of like medical surgeries. Like LASIK was kind of early over there, that kind of stuff. So I guess it was so important to my dad that I don't have a small scar on my lip that
really beauty buffing you. Like he's like he's got to. the only thing he's got going for him is his looks.
That's right.
It's like some next level looks maxing.
I don't know if I can love him if he doesn't.
Right, yeah. And now you're a robotics engineer and
Well, he's
a real
probably thinking,
badass.
oh, he'll never get a job.
Yeah.
No one, he just, his mind just went to the worst case.
Right.
He'll be homeless.
He'll never have a podcast.
Right, yeah. It's important to be pretty as a podcaster.
I mean, you can never
Right.
be on stage with a scar like that.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
I'm
Anyway, that's
I'm
my
glad
back-
you got it taken care of.
Thank you. Yeah,
I
I
was
would-
gonna say.
You look good.
Right. I don't have to like cover up
Yeah.
like the Phantom of the Opera or anything like that. Yeah. Just a very small thing over my lip.
Yeah, tiny little man.
Sing once again for me.
When did you get that removed?
I think it was like around this time that it happened. So when I was like 4
Oh,
or 5.
okay.
Yeah.
Just like as soon as it was healed, they were
Yeah.
like, "Let's zip."
And I
Get
also
rid of
really
it.
don't trust my memory, so I totally could have like dreamed this and made it up. But I'm pretty sure that this happened.
I mean, I think you would remember that.
Yeah. So yeah,
Cool.
that's my backdoor story.
Well, that's my Stitches story.
Nice.
Sweet,
Well,
dude.
you left us in stitches several times. Ha ha ha
Here
ha.
for
Ha ha. Double meanings.
it's a comedy podcast.
That's right.
Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sure. We're going in reverse order from previously.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I already got in my backdoor story about stitches, so I thought I'd talk about just kind of
Your front door story.
exactly my front
Yeah.
door story. Yeah, about the time that I got murdered by a front door. No, that's not true. I don't know. I think sometimes stories about hurting yourself can be kind of funny in retrospect. So for this one, I think it's mostly just my mental state and the things I did after I hurt myself that I think are kind of funny. So I'll just talk about this one experience, which was I was 11. I just started secondary school in England, which is kind of like middle school and high school, I guess, combined. You go primary school, secondary school, and then like college or university after that. But we had PE kind of early in the day. And my last class of the day was going to be art. And I wasn't good at art, but it was kind of fun because it's the thing where, you're just like doing goofy things and, painting things or making things with clay or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was fun. And I remember we were in art class at that time working on a project where we were making these really stupid like paintings or clay things or something like that I was just totally, tuned out of. But
Yeah.
the teacher had been telling us, next week we're starting something new. It's going to be really fun. So I was like, okay, cool. This is going to be awesome. PE class earlier that day, we're doing cross country. And we're kind of running around these like kind of farm fields in, England in the countryside, whatever. And right next to this field, there's like a copse of trees, let's say. Let's use that word as if it's the right word. I don't know.
Did you say copse of trees?
Yeah, COPSE. Is it copse or copes? I don't know. Anyway,
I've never heard of that.
there's a stand of
British
trees. Yeah.
It's a British thing.
But it's like the very first thing that we're running past,
Okay.
and my athletic ability, human body, decides to step on a branch that's lying on the ground. Didn't see it. Rolled my ankle,
Yeah.
and it was like getting swollen, kind of painful. Not immediately, but I found the teacher. I was just like, I hurt myself. I don't know if I can run for 30 minutes, whatever. So I got to go and sit back, by the bus, or I don't remember where we were. But then we went back to school, and the teacher was saying, "Oh yeah, go see the nurse." I was like, well, if I go to the nurse, they might like send me home or something like that.
Yeah.
I really want to be there for art today. I don't want to miss the first day of this new exciting thing. So it was like the first class of the day. I'm just like limping around to all my classes. I see my brother and his friends at lunch because we went to the same school. They're like, what is wrong with you? Why don't you just go to the nurse? And I'm like, no, art's going to be so much fun. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. So I'm just like, grinning and bearing it like all day. Get to art class. And the first thing the teacher says is, all right, I know I've been telling you guys that we're going to start a new topic, but I think we still need one more week to work on this thing. So my hand shut up. I was like, teacher, I hurt myself earlier. I really can't concentrate. I think you need to go to the nurse.
Oh, last class of the day. You waited all day.
Well, I didn't want to sit there if we're going to do the same boring thing. So.
Right. So I guess
great.
my first initial question, because it's right here, is when the next topic started,
Yeah.
was it as exciting as you were hoping that it would be?
I'm going to have to say no because I can't remember what it was.
I was just going to ask you
Yeah.
if you could even remember what it was.
Okay.
No.
Maybe not worth it in that.
No.
Like, overall, it probably wasn't worth it.
right. No,
Like,
in general.
But your kid brain is thinking...
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't want to miss this thing. Like,
Yep.
all my friends are going to be in the class, and they'll have so much fun, and they'll be talking about it tomorrow, and I'll just be talking about how much my ankle hurts,
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that.
Right, exactly, yeah. That's all I ever talked about, yeah. So, that's
Horse
my...
chestnuts.
That's
ankles.
right.
Yeah, was the tree branch that you stepped on possibly a horse chestnut?
I'm gonna say I think it was probably an oak, but I honestly don't remember.
Nice strong wood.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's why.
Yeah, you know, the good old copses of oaks. You know,
Copses of Oaks. That's
Copses?
my new band name.
Copses of oaks.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be spoken word indie band.
Spoken word indie.
spoken
Yeah,
word.
yeah, of course. Duh.
I love it.
great.
Acorns are just a tree in a pod. Acorns will be a tree someday. I don't know how spoken word works.
You nailed it. I think.
It sounds right. Sounds like spoken word poetry, but you know, just put a little beat to it. You're
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
Acorns. Yeah, I think we. All right, let's
Copses
wait. Can we
of
just
oaks.
can we cut off this podcast and just like really
Copses of oats.
like keep working on the song?
Oats
I think we
or
got
oats?
something. Oaks.
Copses of oats.
Oak.
Copses of Oats. Okay. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. All right.
Okay, well, is that it for you, or did you want to expound upon it? I know
like
that
to
you became a
extrapolate?
pretty professional level runner at some point, so cross country really did it for you.
You're lying to me about me, and I know about
ankle
me.
heal?
So no, it's still it's broken. No,
Still,
yeah, no, but it is a thing. Like I feel like the ankle is one of the most common things that I've hurt over the years.
It's an easy one to hurt. I've rolled my
Yeah.
ankle several times, like over the past 5 years probably, and I'm like,
not a
what the
great
fuck,
injury
dude?
either. It's
I
just
think-
like makes everything
yeah.
harder.
I think the worst ones I've had actually are from like things falling on my foot, like when I fall and then something
Yeah.
falls on top of it. One time it was another kid when I was playing basketball in middle school.
Sounds like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Right, and like I fully thought it was fractured because it hurt so much, but I went to the doctor. It was totally fine. It was just like kind of purple. you know?
Totally fine.
And then more recently, this is not as far back, a couple years back when I was riding my motorcycle, my friend convinced me we should try and do some dirt riding. And my motorcycle is like dual sport, so I can kind of do dirt, but I'd never done it
Nice.
before. And immediately when we get onto the dirt, I like find a soft patch by accident, and my bike comes out from under me and lands right on my foot. And I'm wearing motorcycle shoes, but they're not like completely, compression resistant. So this
man.
500-pound motorcycle falls and squishes my foot. And at that time, I didn't go to the doctor. I maybe should have because it was quite purple.
but
But
you didn't want to miss art later.
right, exactly. You know me. You know me.
I know you too well.
So
Well,
yep.
That's a fun story. I mean, fun to listen
Yeah,
to.
thank
from
you.
The outside.
Yeah, not fun for you at the time, but hilarious.
Yeah. No, I think I could see some of the humor in the moment, but yeah.
It's the
That's-
strong will of a kid who really wants to get out of pottery class.
That's right. Exactly. Yep. So that's me. How about you, Graham?
Okay. So I have a couple of just notable stories, notable injuries, I guess I can talk about, and mainly they kind of revolve around like tools.
Okay.
Like tools, workshop. Like
Yeah.
my dad was he like had this workshop. He had
And
all
he put
these
you to work
tools.
from a young age.
Yeah, he actually did.
Oh.
We'll talk about that later.
In our child labor section.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Child labor.
That's right. Well, when it's a sweatshop, at least you're sweating so you can cool yourself down.
It's called
So,
Sweat
yeah.
Equity Shop. Yeah. Yeah, I'm earning my inheritance.
That's right.
No, but so yeah, he had a lot of tools. We were always working on stuff, but then also I would, being the precocious young child that I was, would like sometimes go and work on build my own stuff because he taught me how to use all the tools.
Nice.
Sure.
So, which was cool, but I'm like a 7-8-year-old using a saw or what
yeah.
I mean. Like,
What can go wrong?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, my mom was always nervous about that. I'm like, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. But I didn't have an injury at the saw. But
Okay.
the first thing that I remember, and this was he was working on something. He was a welder
Okay.
at one point, and he had an acetylene torch welder, like. The blue flame. You got to put the visor down because it
that's hot.
sunburns your eyes.
Yeah.
Like.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was welding together a trailer.
Okay.
He was building this trailer to haul stuff around, I guess. And so he's welding this piece to this trailer. And I was a kid, and I was like watching him or whatever. And I don't know what I was thinking,
Okay.
but he stopped welding, turned it off, put the thing down, like whatever, went to turn around, whatever. And I said something to the effect of, "Wow, let's check and make sure that it's tight or whatever, the joint is tight."
That's
And I
totally-
immediately went, and I don't remember which hand it was, but I went and I touched the weld.
Oh.
And I went to jiggle it.
I
and
can
he's
can
like,
hear that in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, smell it.
And all I remember, it was kind of like a slow motion, like train wreck thing where he's like, no. And I'm like, you know, and then immediately, I think there was like a moment where I realized my error.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, because it wasn't immediate, my agony.
Yeah.
It was a moment where I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like when you stepped on the landmine and you know it's about to go off. Yeah.
Exactly.
To make it relatable.
Yeah. So anyway, like, you know, my hand like swells up. It's like I don't remember the like details. Like I may have just touched it with like my fingers, but it was enough. Like I remember the pain was like excruciating, and like I had a blister. Like, you know, it was like a hot ass. And I don't think it was immediately. Like, I think the weld had cooled a little bit. I don't think it was, like, molten hot. But it was still fucking hot, man. It was hot enough to, like...
Was it, like, 3rd degree?
I don't know.
Okay.
Burns
we'll
are,
say it was
like,
degree.
I would say some of the worst injuries.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's, like, of minor injuries,
Yeah.
I suppose. Like, I would rather have a cut than a burn.
Yeah.
Because burns are just, like, so sensitive and so, like...
They just sting continuously. Yeah.
They don't heal quickly.
Sure.
They get all gross.
Yeah.
And
then they, like... Yeah, it's like they constantly hurt. Mm-hmm. You know? So, for a long time. So, anyway, that was one of the ones that is like forever seared into my brain. The other one was
Sorry.
Yes. Oh, no.
Before you move on to your
Yes.
next one,
Questions, comments.
I just have a quick. I got a burn when I was probably about that age
From a penny, yes.
From a. We had like a neighborhood barbecue, and a police officer came and was like hanging out, and he let us all sit on his motorcycle. And we were taking
did
pictures.
you touch the tailpipe?
And I touched the tailpipe
dude.
with my ankle and burnt the shit out of my ankle.
Yeah.
And that's the whole story. There's nothing serious about it, but like I got a burn from a motorcycle tailpipe when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
It was gnarly. It was not a fun one.
Man.
Those things get hot and they stay hot for a while. Yeah.
So anyway, carry on with your story. I just wanted to plug my burn quick little thing
plug
in.
your burn.
Plug your burn. Yeah. Stop that burn from leaking.
I just want to plug my new burn project. No, and then second one is is this our not sponsor?
Well, they're
White
among
Monster.
the people not sponsoring us right now.
Are you sponsoring your White Monster?
I'm sponsoring it. For sure. I'm giving them most of my money.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You're putting their kids through college.
They're little monsterlings.
Yeah.
Monster. As though it's owned by like a small family or something.
Monsters.
Yeah, the Monster family.
Duh. Second one is still Tool related.
Uh-huh.
And I
The band?
Tool, no, but Tool's awesome.
Yeah.
I saw them once in concert. You don't like them?
I don't dislike them. It's just not my favorite band. I think it would be legendary to see them, but
I did see them in Pepsi Center.
I saw them once.
not my
yeah.
favorite. But
I
anyway,
guess it's
carry
called
on.
Balls Arena or something now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Balls Arena.
Ball Arena, yeah. Sorry to derail the conversation, yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, not sorry.
Why do they call it Ball Arena anyway?
Well, because we have Dick's Sporting Goods too.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you want
Dick's
the real
Sporting
answer?
Goods Park, Balls Arena.
It's
Ball Arena, but I think Balls is
yeah,
fun.
it's the ball company that makes like jars. And,
Oh, because
yeah.
when I first, you're right. But when I first heard that, I was like, oh, is it because they're playing ball
Yeah,
in
and,
there?
and they need to rename the football stadium
Basketball
to Taint Field.
Well, maybe they could
Fleshy Fun
maybe they could be
Bridge.
more honest and they could say "tain't no good" field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to tools. What were
Hashtag
you
Colorado
talking
What about like
Sports, yeah.
Butthole Field?
Yeah, but what is that field even called right now?
It's
Vesco?
Experian or something
It's
like
like
that.
a Power?
Empower. Yeah.
That's right. Empower Dick
I saw
and
the
Balls.
Rolling Stones there recently.
Power,
Yeah.
Dick and Happy Trail
right.
Stadium. Anyway, so at some point, my dad or whatever, I learned how to use a chisel.
Okay.
So I'm like chiseling wood. I'm like, this is fucking cool, right? You're like
Yeah.
chiseling. You can chisel stuff. You can make stuff. So I'm over there chiseling a piece of wood, and without parental supervision. And I did not realize this, but you're not supposed to chisel toward your skin. You're supposed to chisel away.
What a concept. Okay.
So I'm like,
Why is that?
you know, I'm like really
More
I'm, like,
power.
getting in there and like, and it's working for a while, but then I accidentally slipped. The chisel slipped, and my knuckle was right at the receiving end. So it goes.
Another one that just is...
And I still have a little bit of a scar. It's kind of covered up here.
Oh yeah.
But you can see like.
Oh yeah, I see it.
You see it?
Yeah, definitely see it.
It's
right
a little
there.
hook. It's
That's a pretty big one for
so
a finger
you just
scar.
went in there,
Yeah, yeah.
and like there is a little flap of skin.
that.
Ooh,
Yeah. So
that's not. Do you remember what you were chiseling?
I have no idea.
Didn't complete it.
Probably not.
Bummer.
I mean, at that point, I was like, I'm never touching this chisel again.
Yeah, like scared straight.
The weird. Okay, so funny thing is, like, I was just chiseling something the other day at my house, and I caught myself, like, doing it and I was like, no, like, I had this visceral reaction of like,
Yeah.
what is wrong with me? I already went through this.
Old
like,
habits die
chisel
hard,
away,
yeah.
chisel away. So
What were you chiseling recently?
I don't know.
What do you
Just
mean?
like in the last week, a couple of weeks.
Remember?
Cool.
Did you forget, or were you like in a fugue state? Like,
Just woke up in the middle of the night, like,
what is this thing I'm chiseling? I'm so scared.
What is it? I just wake up covered in blood.
That's right. Did I chisel a pentagram here? Yeah.
but you can't find any wounds on you, and you're like, what am I?
Whose blood is it?
Oh
I was
no!
probably I was building this planter box. I don't know. I've been.
Well, that's more
I've been-
boring than what we were saying.
I've been working a lot. Yeah, I wasn't like chiseling like a
Corpse.
like an animal or something.
Dude, it'd been cool, like a little duck, a little mallard.
Yeah, like Donald
Fauntleroy.
Famoister. Yeah.
It's my new middle name. I'm legally changing it. Samuel Famoister Duck.
A moister. That's not Donald Duck's middle name, is it?
Fauntleroy.
It's right. Okay.
I maintain that the one I proposed is as real a name as Fauntleroy.
No, Fauntleroy is named after an old story about a poor American boy who finds out that his uncle is the Earl of somewhere in the UK or
Listen,
dad or
it doesn't
something.
matter when someone made up this fake name. It's still a fake name, just like Famoister.
And so is Ryan.
No.
I mean,
Ryan's
every
fake.
name's pretty
It's
fake
made up.
if you think about it, because every name's made up.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. My name came from the Bible. I don't know.
There's no Ryans in the Bible,
if
is
there
there?
are any Ryans in the Bible. There's Orion maybe, but that's not even the...
Oh, Ryan, what kind of Bible are you reading?
The Bible of the Stars.
Yeah, the Star Bible.
Star Bible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain for people who aren't in this room. I think at least I am a little slap happy because it's pretty hot in here. I don't know
hot.
about you guys.
Yeah,
It's hot.
It's like we're doing like hot yoga.
Yeah. Without all the yoga.
Just the hot.
Just hot.
Yeah.
Hot sitting.
Hot sitting.
So do you have any more injuries that you got caught with tools?
I probably, but I don't remember them.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you'd like miss the nail.
This might be sure. This might be too like off the topic, but is there anything that you remember having whittled that you were really proud of, or chiseled away that you were proud of? Do
Dude,
you have
I used
anything?
to like whenever we would go camping. I would always like have a little pocket knife
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
and like just start whittling and stuff. You know.
I remember doing that as a kid too, where I'd like
Yeah.
sit and just like whittle. But I was like, now I was thinking about that the other day for some reason. But whittling is like such a weird thing because now as an adult, if I was going to whittle, I'd be like, I'm gonna take a chunk of wood and I'm gonna make something with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna whittle it down
Yeah.
into like a design. When I was whittling as a kid, it was like I was just making a toothpick, basically.
Yeah, right.
Taking
Yeah,
a
like-
big stick and making it into a small, sharper stick.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
what we would
That's-
do. Is
Yeah, I've
we?
definitely done
I mean,
that
we
too,
would.
yeah.
I mean, literally, would just make spears
Yeah.
Nice.
and
yeah.
then poke stuff with
Brittany?
it.
Yeah.
Britney Spears.
Britney
Yeah.
Spears, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just interesting that's why I was curious.
Yeah,
'cause if you
that is
did it
interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I think at one point I was like kind of getting somebody gave me like I don't know if it's a whittling knife, but it was like a pocket knife with all these different blades on it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, you know,
Swiss Army.
I would like try to do like old man faces or
Yeah.
whatever. Just, you know, try to actually make shit on the wood
So in-
instead of like just
Yeah.
carving a spear and poking stuff with it.
Evolving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In middle
Going
school.
from like cave boy days.
That's right.
Sharpen the stick.
You're in your Bronze Age. You're smelting things.
Well,
yeah.
and then like, well, speaking of the spears, sometimes I'd like whittle the spear and then I'd shove it into a hot dog,
There you
Oh.
go.
and then I would use it to cook the hot dog.
There you go.
Nice.
Or-
yeah.
Marshmallows, same
Ooh.
thing.
Schmoes.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
anything you can cook over a fire.
Just
really.
anything you can shove
Yeah.
that thing in and
Fish.
Fish? No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That sounds gross to me, but
Chicken
I'm not a
wings.
big fish guy. Chicken wings. Just out on a camping trip. Honey, bring the barbecue sauce. Got some fresh wings.
Yeah. But I know kids these days will never know the joys of whittling because iPads, am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
No,
you
I
can
don't- I
do
don't
the
think-
whittling app.
Yeah.
Get the whittling app.
I don't think kids are allowed to have sharp enough knives now. Right?
No, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Safety scissors all day.
for sure, which
Yeah.
is, good.
Sure.
So when
Is
I
it?
was in middle
Most of these
school,
kids are
I
psychos.
learned we had like in maybe art class or something, we were tasked to bring in bars of soap, just like get bulk bars of soap or whatever, and then we did like whittling on those.
Oh.
And we
Nice.
like carved them, and I had a lot of fun with it. So I was like, Mom, get more bars of soap so I can just whittle this and like make little sculptures out of the soap. And I never made a single one, and I'm pretty sure that my mom still has all of those bars of soap
Dude.
in the house, and she'll be like, do you remember, like, not even that long ago, like maybe a couple of times, like a couple of months ago, I was over there,
Yeah.
and she's like, remember when you used to like carve soap? And I was like, I remember doing that. And she was like, I still have some of that soap. Do you want to do some soap carvings? And I was like, you should throw that away.
I think she's trying to drop hints that she wants you to carve it so she hasn't held it all these years for nothing.
for nothing.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
just
well, why
use
don't you
it.
bring it to the next podcast?
Yeah.
I'll bring. I'm probably not gonna swing by my parents' house just to pick up some bars of Irish
Okay, fine,
Spring.
I'll go.
But yeah, if Ryan shows up and he's like,
Yeah.
yes, Miss Bagnall, I was wondering if I could get 13 bars of
That's right.
Irish Spring soap.
What were you gonna
I'm
carve
an
into them?
associate of your son.
Like, I think the main thing that I was like we did in class was like the little heads from that island, Easter Island,
yeah.
like those
Oh.
types of like little heads, like tiki heads or something.
Yeah.
Like that's what I kind of
Nowadays, that's called cultural appropriation.
yes.
I feel like my character has to become like grumpy old man.
That's just who you're gonna embody.
Yeah.
Like
And not
Wait,
just for this podcast, for life.
So your actual like personality.
you're making a character choice early on to
Yes.
be old,
Yeah.
like, angry
I
old
like
man.
I like this. We can kind of like already predict your character arc.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. I will die horribly somehow.
or just of old age, pleasantly alone
Right.
in your bed, but alone being
in
the
greater
key
than
word.
30 years, because we already established that I will not be in the old folks' home then. Although I could be in a graveyard. That would also
Yeah.
qualify as not the old folks' home.
And then I will be haunting you with horse chestnuts.
We could both be ghosts.
And I will
Wait.
have totally forgotten about both of you by then, and I'll be off pursuing my podcast
wait,
career solo.
Does Alzheimer's run in your family then?
It does not.
Oh, okay. I thought that's why you forgot.
No,
Oh,
I'll
yes.
just be.
Somebody's got some early onset dementia.
Yeah.
Over there.
What? Who are you guys?
Illusions of grandeur.
That's right.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Cool. That was
So yeah,
it was a fun one. I mean, not fun. Again,
Well, you know, it's
injuries aren't
terrible,
fun.
yeah,
but
terrible.
Man, both of yours specifically were like, like made my
yeah.
skin crawl a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
Like
know.
just the concept of scooping out under your finger with a sharp
Right.
tool is like
I know.
makes my skin crawl a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's I think gonna do it for us today.
That's it, yeah.
We've talked about some fun stuff and we're ready to sign off. So thanks for listening to Wax Nostalgic.
Yeah. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah, join us next time for some fun conversations about old shit.
Yes.
Yeah. See you later.
Bye.
Wax Nostalgic Podcast was produced and recorded at Black Dove Studios in Denver, Colorado. Audio post-production and engineering by Sam Bagnall. Video production and post-production by Graham Johnstone. IT and social media management by Ryan Kerwin. Check out this and other creative projects by adding to the noise at attnlab.com. That's attnlab.com.